Welcome to Business Reporter's Digital Economy campaign. I'm Alistair Greener. All employers want to see empowered, efficient and satisfied workforces. Most decision makers agree that integration and automation hold the keys to success. So what does a successful augmented workforce look like? Well, that's what we're going to discuss today with Dr. Adam Bujak from Capgemini. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
What are the symptoms of a siloed organization?
Well, first and foremost, it is about diminishing value for the clients and reduced revenues for organizations. Let me give you an example that I experienced recently in Croatia. We had a seamless booking experience of our rental car. Everything went online pretty smooth. When we arrived, we picked up the car, everything paperless. I was pretty impressed with the digitalized way of handling the entire process. Then we traveled for quite a while, came back to the same airport, and the parking where the rental company was based was empty. What do you do when you're just about to fly away, fly back home, and there is no place you can return your car to? Obviously, I found the number somewhere, called them up. This was in Split. I reached Zagreb, and the person in Zagreb told me, I have no clue about Split. So I started searching street by street, and then after driving for 2 kilometers, I found the new location of the rental company. The retain experience was pretty smooth again. Everything digitalized, I got the confirmation, and if there wouldn't be the break between the front and back office organization, my experience would have been perfect. So the intention basically is to break the boundaries between front, middle and back office, generating client value.
And it's interesting with your particular experience there, because we're promised with these smart technologies that everything's going to be efficient, everything's going to run really well, and all these technologies like RPA and technologies like that. However, as you had your experience with your hire car, that doesn't always work. What's going wrong?
Actually, only 46% of organizations, according to HFS, are successfully deploying robotic process automation. Having said that, we need to look at the complexity of the entire automation story. When you want to automate a process, you should look at it end to end. And robotic process automation focuses only on the structured contents. So the data that is, for instance, in an Excel sheet or database and can be transferred from one system to another. Once you're dealing with an unstructured data, unstructured component, RPA is reaching its limits.
Could you maybe give us an example of this and where it all goes wrong with unstructured data?
Imagine you're receiving an email from a client. He is complaining about an amount of the invoice, right? And in the written text, you have to extract the relevant information. The intent, okay, I'm unhappy with the invoice I received. Which invoice is it? Probably you would be looking for an invoice number. And what is the real problem? The amount is too high. So deriving information from an unstructured content is absolutely critical to drive automation.
Now, the thing is that we obviously want to make sure this works. So we've got RPA. What technology do we put with RPA to make sure that it does, so that you've got technology that will work with structured and unstructured technology?
We call it a trifecta of intelligent automation. This is a combination of robotic process automation, artificial intelligence, and smart analytics. Artificial intelligence to address, for instance, the unstructured data problem, and smart analytics to ensure that you can take decisions based on predictive analysis, for instance.
Now, is this just an issue of technology, or is it something else that prospects should be aware of?
What we are looking at primarily is augmented workforce at scale. So how do I combine human and virtual workforce component? And this means that you have to define, first of all, the strategy, Where are you going with the automation? Which departments are going to be affected? You have to define the governance, the target operating model. I had an example of a client who issued an ID for a robot. It was an SAP ID. And then the HR department issued an ID card to enter the building. Yeah, the robots don't need that. You just need a right target operating model. Once you have that, it is much easier for the organization to embrace the complexity. And here we are heading towards change management. This is a massive change for multiple departments. So you need to embrace that, and you need to have the right approach to address it correctly.
Tell us about the Capgemini solution. How does that work?
Our core value proposition is augmented workforce at scale, combining human and virtual workforce. We deliver it through our offering called Intelligent Process Automation that consists of 5 core components. IPA advice, helping clients to define their strategy, build target operating models, governance, setup, manage the change. IPA transform, helping the organizations to transform their processes. IPA deliver, building automation artifacts for the organizations. IPA operate, taking care of the support and maintenance aspects. And last but not least, IPA innovate, taking into consideration the latest developments that are allowing us, for instance, to embed different microservices depending on how attractive they are in the whole automation context. I can switch on certain element if it's cost attractive, more cost attractive than the previous one, or switch it off if I don't need it anymore. The other element that I would like to stress is the augmented delivery center that combines all 5 elements that I just mentioned. Here, you are getting advice, transform, deliver, operate, and innovate in one box without significant investment in your organizational effort. Last but not least, I would like to stress that we have trained 23,000 employees. They are trained and certified on intelligent automation to help our clients succeed in this area in light of the talent scarcity we are facing nowadays across the world.
If you could summarize what we've been talking about in maybe some key points for our audience, what would they be?
So it is about augmented workforce at scale, combining virtual and human components. Number 2, benefiting from the intelligent automation trifecta, combining robotic process automation, AI, and smart analytics. And last but not least, merging front, middle, and back office with the human in the center. We should not forget that the human still plays a critical role in the success of automation.
Well, we all know that technology is the future and it's becoming more of our lives every single day, but it's really interesting to find out how working them all together can make a really successful way of communicating, and it's been great to find out more from you. So thank you very much indeed. Dr. Adam Bujak from Capgemini, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.